What's going on, guys? This is the Edge DFS. We are coming to you live on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, all those things. MySpace, like I said. My name is Tyson Smith. I'm joined by Ellie Hernandez. We're talking Raptors versus Pelicans. Saturday night basketball showdown slate. Ellie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, dude. Just just happy that all our cash lineups hit last night, so I was kind of able to make back some money from a pretty shitty connection error. But how you doing, bro?
Not bad, man. Showdown didn't work out great for me last night. Who was our boy that screwed us over? I raced him out of my mind. The guy who got injured with a quad.
Oh,
injury.
Rodney Hood.
Rodney Hood got 1.5 fantasy points, and I had 55% of him. And Anthony Simons picked up the slack there.
Yep.
All I needed was an extra rebound from from Hood before he, wimped out and went to the bench. And I would have profited, but I was close enough. I won 75% of my entry fees back, so you can't complain about that. How about you? How'd you do?
I made a couple bucks. I actually entered that lineup. I accidentally entered in the wrong size contest. Was the one with Anthony Simons, and
oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's it was good. So essentially he made me break even.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got some guys coming in here. Thank you guys for joining us. Throw us a like real quick, right at the beginning of the video. Help us out with the algorithm. We appreciate it. So, Ellie, my biggest question for you today is...
Hey, Chaz, me too. Sorry, bro. But you'll see me looking over at my monitor from time to time. So, me too. And we'll do our best to call out, like, pertinent news as that comes out while we're getting ready.
Yeah, exactly. This. Ellie, do you have got news up and everything? Okay. I'm focused on the show. So,
no
Chaz,
worries.
What's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. So, Ellie, like I said, my biggest question to you is, are you still hungover as fuck? And if not, what are you drinking?
Tequila and orange juice.
Wow. It's, was it 6:30 Eastern right now? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a little early for me. Whatever. Fuck it. It's the day after a holiday. I can drink whatever I want. All right. Tequila and orange juice?
Yeah, it's what we have.
I hear you. You probably drank everything. All right, guys. So thanks for joining us.
We played beer pong with seltzers on New Year's Eve. So I don't know if I told you guys that yesterday, but that's why I was dying. Like that's not
seltzer. Oh,
yeah, it's not a good idea.
That's a bad idea. That is.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for joining us once again. Raptors versus Pelicans. Pretty decent matchup here. Let's check out the Vegas line here. Toronto's 1-3. They were without Pascal Siakam the last game for what did he do? It was some sort of disciplinary reason. What did he do?
Have
you heard anything? Okay, well, it doesn't really fucking matter. Whatever. The guy's gonna fucking play tonight, so that's all that matters. We really don't have any injury issues to talk about, so that'll be nice. We don't have to adjust to any news coming in potentially. I mean, with coronavirus, we never know. We always have to kind of be by our computer, but in this case, there's no one who's actually questionable in this game, which is nice. New Orleans was 3-2. Pretty close matchup here. We've got a 215 over under, -1 to Toronto, and it looks like both of these teams have a relative. They're both -115 for Toronto and -106 for New Orleans. So this is a close matchup. What are your thoughts with Siakam coming back? Like how has Toronto looked? I haven't actually watched them this year. I'm signing up for NBA League Pass, which is I think cheaper now because there's less games maybe. But I've been able to manage to watch a handful of games here and there. But with New Orleans looked okay against the Suns. They got blown out, but it's hard to judge a team going against the Suns. So what are your thoughts on this overall matchup here, Toronto, New Orleans, in New Orleans?
I think this has the potential to be an okay game, but I think it has more potential to be the most boring game on the slate. Like Brandon Ingram's okay to watch. Zion, look, man, like Zion, I feel like is just like a ninja turtle. He just runs around the court. Like his arms don't do anything. He just stands straight up and runs around the court. Like it's not a fun game for me to watch. So I'm not a huge fan of New Orleans. Toronto could be interesting. It depends on if Van Fleet and Lowry get hot, you could see threes rain all night. So I don't know, man. I think they're giving New Orleans a little bit of an edge here when they're a little bit closer win probabilities than I would expect. I think Toronto is absolutely the better team. It just, it depends on how well Pascal Siakam plays too, because he hasn't necessarily been getting there either. So I think that kind of outlines some of their struggles, but it should be an all right game, I guess.
I guess the key here is, can we get a competitive game, please? A lot of these games have been absolute blowouts. The Golden State Warriors are an absolutely terrible team. Like, they are so fucking bad. It's really bad. So hopefully we can have a little bit more of a competitive game here. I think these teams are pretty well, pretty evenly matched. So as long as we don't have to account for, a 30-point lead in the third quarter, we can at least actually have a chance to profit here. If not, we're going to get a bunch of garbage time minutes that it's just impossible to know. It's just impossible to figure that out. So any other thoughts on this matchup, NBA-wise, basketball-wise, before we get into the DFS side of things?
No, not really. I think we'll get into it all on when we do our little breakdowns here. But
So injury-wise, was it Pascal that was basically, he was expected to play, Siakam,
right?
But I got a notification saying he will play. I didn't see him on any injury report. Maybe that has to do with the disciplinary reasons, So I don't think he's hurt, but there's no injury issues in this particular game, which is nice. We don't have to deal with that. We can just move right on into the actual talking about the starters here. Let me refresh this and see if they've actually updated anything yet. Starters, there shouldn't be any surprises here for starters. For the Raptors, we've got Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Aaron Baines, which is interesting. Aaron Baines, our boy from Phoenix, he's an interesting play today at his price tag. We'll talk about him in a minute. Lonzo Ball for the Pelicans, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Steven Adams. So when it comes to the starting lineup, Aaron Baines starting, and what do we got him projected minutes-wise? Aaron Baines, like 22 minutes-ish.
I think he's 22.
22. Boucher is the backup there. So, and Boucher is scheduled to get around 20 minutes. So this is interesting. Boucher is actually priced above Aaron Baines by $600. That's interesting. We'll talk about that here in a minute when we get into the breakdown. Anything else to talk about with starters? I mean, everything is pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, just the official rosters or the official lineups haven't been released yet. They haven't locked them in. So just keep an eye. We could get some bullshit for whatever reason. Boucher might end up starting over Baines. I'm not saying that's any actual thing that I think is going to happen, but keep an eye on it.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll be live when they release that, obviously. We're taking you up to past lock, actually. We're going to talk a little bit about ownership when contests lock. We're going to get into our fate of the night, our captain choices, and then we'll build lineups together. What time should we build lineups? Maybe 20 minutes before lock, and then we can actually get into like Fantasy Cruncher with some of these crunches that I've put out.
Yeah, I think that works good.
Okay, cool. So let's get into the breakdown, dude. All right. So let me actually share my Excel sheet here real quick. Forgive me, guys. We have a new software that we're using for live stream, so it just takes an extra second here. Let's see. Share my Excel sheet, and there it is. All right. You guys seeing that? Okay, cool. All right. So looks like we've got Brandon Ingram, 9.8K. Pascal Siakam, 10.2K. Zion, 9.2. So Zion's priced down a little bit, which is interesting. Ingram, $600 more expensive than Zion. You've got Siakam, obviously the highest priced player on Toronto. Lowry, 9,600. Fred VanVleet, 8,800. So VanVleet is getting more usage. Is he getting more usage? No, they're right around the same usage. and Lowry getting right around the same amount of fantasy points per minute. So that's interesting. Van Vliet's $800 cheaper. So that could be a good little option there if we're looking for some values. They're projected for the same amount of minutes. We got Lonzo Ball at 8K, Steven Adams at 76. I think that's it for our top tier. You could even include Anunoby, OG Anunoby there for 7,000. So, Ellie, what jumps out to you about pricing here overall for both teams? Siakam is the highest priced player on the slate by 400. What's your thoughts on Zion at 9,200 here?
So I think they did a good job of keeping everybody pretty much within a similar tier, other than FVV, who should be, well, even probably Lonzo Ball. They should probably be closer to 9,000. I think having really those top four guys at similar pricing kind of restricts your building, right? I would say these four will probably come in 15% higher owned in the captain spot. So I think it's going to eat into your salary a little bit. Yeah. But given what I'm seeing here, it looks like you're going to have to be building with one of these middling price guys like Eric Bledsoe or OG Anunoby if you go with one of these guys at captain. So yeah. I think it kind of opens up the slate a little bit here. Guys like Fred VanVleet and Lonzo Ball become really interesting captain plays because of their price, and you're really not sacrificing too much upside. So I kind of like the way the pricing worked out here.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's not a lot of value that I'm comfortable with here on this particular slate, unless we get some news that's released here before lock. I love Jackson Hayes at 2,400. Bembry at 1,000. I don't know if I'm comfortable playing him. Matt Thomas is not in my player pool. I think the lowest guy I'd be comfortable with getting some exposure is JJ Redick. Now, we all know JJ Redick. He's at 3,600. He's scoring dependent. If he's hot, he's a great play. If he's not, you're not going to have it. You're going to have a bad time. So, he's at 0.57 fantasy points per minute. I think historically he's a little bit better than that. His usage is right around 17%. He hasn't started the year off very hot. So I think there's opportunity, for him to just sort of get back to where he used to be. I know he's getting a little bit older, but I think he's still got it. So what are your thoughts on some of the value here before we jump into our Captain Crunch segment here?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit tighter. We don't have that 1,000 or 1,400 guy that we can go to on this slate. Not that the one that we had yesterday was all fucking, a bang up job. But yeah. I definitely think we gotta find a way to get up to the JJ Redicks, Norman Powell's, or Aaron Baines. So that's kind of really about as far down as I'm willing to go. Jackson Hayes does get interesting if you think that there's going to be some foul trouble with Steven Adams or whatever. He does have the ability to get some points pretty quickly, but again, that was more last year than it was this year. So I don't know. It's going to be tight this way, though.
So, chat, let us know about what you guys think about some value. Like, who are some of your favorite value plays? Because I think we're going to have to figure out who we're comfortable with on the low end. Norman Powell at 4,200, not a bad option. The interesting thing here that I'm seeing is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's averaging, 14.7 minutes per game. He's projected for 9 today, but he's got 1 fantasy points per minute, and his usage is at 31%, which is basically the highest in the game. It's not a large, sample size, but for him, if he gets on the floor, if he somehow is able to, if there's an injury or if there's foul trouble, I think he's appealing at 3,400. I just don't like the projected minutes there at 9 minutes. So something to think about. Do you want to just get into our Captain Crunch segment here and look at some of these builds that I crunched out and with our best captain?
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
All right, so let me switch my screen capture here. All right, here we go. So what this is basically telling us here is I crunched out 250 lineups per captain, right? So Brandon Ingram, Siakam, Williamson, Lowry, VanVleet, and Ball. And I'm basically giving you the best, the highest projected points for that captain, as well as a lot of other different metrics here. So value play, JJ Redick, yeah, I feel that, man. Hopefully he can actually break out of a slump and start shooting better. So look, the thing that jumps out to me here is Zion at that price tag. You have the highest projected points by a slim margin over Brandon Ingram. You also have the highest low projected points, highest ceiling, the top floor, the minutes in lineups that he's the captain is middle range at the lower end potentially. But what I'm seeing here is basically building with the guy at that price tag around the 9,000 mark is probably going to be our best option here, because as you see, the cheaper we get with Lowry, Van Fleet, and Ball, the more minutes we're getting. So obviously what that's telling us is the cheaper we get, the more starters we can get in our lineups, the less, the higher amount of minutes, which is a good thing. It's something to keep in mind. What really jumped out to me here is Lonzo Ball here. So we'll talk about Ball in a minute. He's projected for what do we have him at? 32 minutes projected right now?
I think that's low too.
I think that's low. I think that's low. So with Ball, basically what happened with him, he got into foul trouble earlier in that first game, and then there was 2 blowouts. But the only close game this year that they played, he got 37 minutes. He's pretty much guaranteed to get you rebounds and assists. It's just he's very scoring dependent. So Lonzo Ball is a great captain tournament option because it allows you to pair up quite a bit of starters with him. You don't have to punt quite as much. If you look at his high projected points, so just the median projection wise, he's not popping in the optimizers. So you look at projected points, low projected points, the median projections are not really in favor of him, which leads me to believe he's going to be very low owned in the captain, probably 2 or 3%. But the ceiling for him, and I know it's early in the year, but the ceiling for him with his lineups is high. Standard deviation, it's low in the year. So as we get deeper into the year, the standard deviation numbers will be more valuable. But you have the top floor and the top minutes for him. So what jumps out to you here? Brandon Ingram, Zion, and potentially Lonzo as a flyer. What are your thoughts on your favorite captains here, just based on this information?
I think it's Brandon Ingram, Lowry, Van Fleet. I think those are my 3. I think they have the highest floor in the captain spot, and the highest ceiling. Excuse me. Brandon Ingram, I expect to be one of the chalkier captains, but FVV, dude, at his pricing, and I mean 200, he's right there at the middling high projected points. Right, you got some decent crunches out of there. He's tied with the top ceiling. Yeah, I think he's easily going to come in under 10% owned at the captain spot. And then that amount of salary that you're freeing up, you can probably jam in more of the Ingrams, Zions, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously Zion is going to pop in the optimizers because of that price at captain. So I think it's obvious he's going to be the highest owned in captain, because he's a name. But Brandon Ingram, I think, will come in at second highest owned. The guy to me that I don't like at captain is Siakam here. I just don't like him. Just look at all those numbers. I mean, he doesn't grade out well in any of these categories. From a median aspect and also from a ceiling aspect, he just doesn't grade out very well. So I'm actually more likely to fade Siakam in the captain, not in the flex necessarily. So for me, my favorite build is going to be with Zion. I'm only going to do one single entry today. I'm still sort of getting into the, doing this show and trying to enter multiple lineups. It's a little bit difficult to do. So I'm going to stick with a single entry today. And I think I'm probably going to go with Zion in single entry. And that's not some hot take, obviously. But if you just look at those numbers, I just can't get over that. What are your thoughts? Who's going to be your highest overall captain? And not to, blow it early for us with our captain segment, but for you, who do you think your highest owned is going to be?
FVV. I mean, I love Fred VanVleet. And look, when Siakam and Lowry are both playing, it eats into his usage. So I think people shy off of him. But he leads the second unit. He's going to get a lot of run with the ones, and he'll close out the last 25 minutes of the game. So that's my guy.
All right. So do you want to talk about any more of this breakdown? Do you want to go with what are your thoughts on value plays So what about Bobby Boucher here at 5,200? He's projected for 20 minutes. He's at 5,200, and we've got OG Anunoby at 7K. Now, Anunoby's getting 33 minutes projected here. So, like, his price went up with Siakam out. But now that Siakam's back, they haven't really compensated for that necessarily. So, what are your thoughts on, would you rather just go down from Anunoby to get Bobby Boucher here?
I think it's fine. It's a defensive team. Their length is going to bother you. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, James. But I don't think that they're going to be focused on FPV. You got to lock down Lowry. You got to lock down Siakam before you're going to FPV. So I think it's going to open up some other opportunities. But as far as going back to this, I honestly, I think it's a 1-for-1, right? You're saving a shitload of money by going down to Chris Boucher off of OG Anunoby. But OG does have the ability to get those ceiling performances. The important thing for me is obviously the fantasy points per minute. And Bobby Boucher is crushing him in that category, right? But the minutes overall. So I think they're kind of 1-for-1, but you can use them. I wouldn't put them in the same lineup necessarily.
So, look, with Lonzo Ball and Bledsoe together, I just feel like Bledsoe to me is just not getting there this year. His fantasy points per minute are pretty low. He's at 0.7. His usage is at 18. At least with Lonzo, you can pretty much guarantee that he's going to get you some rebounds. He's going to get you some assists. And we're just waiting for him to have a breakout scoring game. But with Bledsoe, I just don't think, he's not getting rebounds. He's getting potential assists. I think he's third on the team, or no, he's second on the team in potential assists, but it's not really resulting in actually fantasy points being scored. So with Bledsoe at 6,400, are you likely to embrace him at that price? I think he's going to be lower owned. What are your thoughts on Bledsoe and Ball? I think you have to like Ball more, even though he's way more expensive.
I like Ball more. I think he's just a better player. Eric Bledsoe, he hasn't been doing very well this season, which is kind of surprising because he was getting a lot of really good run in Milwaukee. But I think it has a lot to do with who's on the squad around him. And I don't know, man. Eric Bledsoe has been disappointing. I just don't think I'm going to have any of them tonight.
Yeah, me neither. So Bookie, I agree with you on this. I think Alexander Walker is a straight up punt play, but like he's a high upside GPP play if he can get the minutes. So who else do you want to talk about here? What about Baines? Aaron Baines at 4,600, 22 projected minutes. Do you prefer Baines or who do you prefer here? Do you prefer Bobby Boucher over Baines?
I think. Yeah, honestly, I do. I mean, he's a little bit more expensive, so people aren't gonna play him. He's a second stringer, so people aren't gonna play him. Baines is gonna be more popular. He's popping a little bit on the main slate a little bit too here, so I just think people are gonna come in ready to play him. But Boucher at 1.4 fantasy points per minute with the second unit is pretty awesome.
Yeah, totally. So Ellie, talk to me about some of the higher end. Can we go Ingram and Zion in the same lineup? Like, to me, I think you should totally go for that because I think that's an interesting build. You're jamming up a lot of the salary with two of these guys. I think you can be a little bit unique if you throw like Zion in the captain, Ingram in the flex, and then you have to punt probably at one position, maybe two on the lower end. So Zion and Ingram together. Ingram is getting 5.6 assists per game, which is pretty good for him. He's got the highest potential assists per game as well. So I think you can play them together. And look, Zion's getting a shitload of free throw opportunities this year. He could lead the league with free throw attempts this year. So can you pair both of these guys together? I guess is my main question. They're not too negatively correlated, and especially on Showdown, you don't have to worry about that, right?
I mean, it is something you got to pay attention to a little bit more for NBA than you would in NFL, because James, that's solid. Running him as a contrarian play, I would expect him to be under 20% owned in large field GPPs. Eric Bledsoe. But yeah, Ingram and Zion Williamson, they're great to play. You're capturing almost all the team's usage right there. That's 56%. You want to throw in Lonzo Ball, right? Then you're up to 78% of the team's usage immediately. So the ball is going to be filtered through them, and that doesn't even really account for, boards and defensive stats, which they're both going to end up getting at some point. So I think you can throw Ingram and Williamson into the same lineup. You're probably going to have a middling captain, so that would be something that I'd recommend with like Lonzo at captain or FVV. Granted, I don't know if you want Lonzo, Zion, and Brandon Ingram all in the same lineup, so it does get a little bit interesting here. So, honestly, I think going 2-4 or 4-2, just getting two guys from the New Orleans side and then fitting in pieces from Toronto is kind of going to be the way to go here. It's going to funnel through these two guys, and Toronto is also a very good defensive team.
So, who's not making your player pool here? Talk to me about the bottom of your player pool. Is Matt Thomas and Bembry making your player pool?
So if I'm building for 20 max, yes, I'll leave everybody into my player pool. 20 or 150, I think it's important to have some of these guys that you can take stabs on. But if you're playing single entry, I absolutely won't have them in my player pool. Bembry does look interesting at what is this, 14 projected minutes. I mean, granted, at $1,000 and half a point per minute, you're looking at a total of 7 fantasy points.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to be needed on this slate. But again, those are things we like to keep an eye on. For whatever reason, if OG Anunoby and Norman Powell both got like removed for COVID, then fuck yeah, DeAndre Bembry is going to get a shitload of minutes, right? Yeah. So it's just something to keep an eye out for. But look, I think pretty much from JJ Redick up, that's where I'm looking.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all pretty safe. And if you took a flyer on Jackson Hayes or Alexander Walker, I don't think I'm getting to Nicolo Melli. I don't think I'm going to get to Jackson Hayes. I mean, he's projected for 11 minutes. I think Hayes and Steven, maybe Hayes and Adams can be on the court at the same time. I don't know. We'll have to look at these rotations here in a minute. Anything else to add to this before we go to our fade of the night?
No, man, I'm good here.
All right. So let me set this up here. Let me get our screen share going here. All right. So our fade of the night. Where are we at?
What's your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony!
Ellie, tell me about your fade of the night.
Yeah, man. He just hasn't been putting the output up that I'd like to see. He obviously has the potential to put in those ceiling performances that we know Pascal Siakam can do. But I think he's just been a lot more inconsistent over the last year. Really since Kawhi left, man, he hasn't really been the same, I don't feel like. But again, that might be a little bit more recency bias. I don't have any data to back that up. But I don't think this is the spot for him. I think he's going to be trying to, get his points surrounded by Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, right? Those are the guys he's got to compete with down at that end of the floor. So I just don't think it's a great option for him tonight.
Yeah, I hear you. For me, Eric Bledsoe, I think he's a good option, contrarian option. I feel like I'm going to try to be under the field with him, which I think is probably going to be like 25-30% overall. I don't know. What are your thoughts on his overall ownership?
I think he'll be under 20%.
Under 20%. I'll get a few lineups with, like, if I were building 20, I'd get like two lineups with him, probably, or 3 maybe. I just don't love him. I'd rather pivot off, Ball. I think it's just too obvious that he's just not really performing at the beginning of the year. I think he can step up eventually. I just don't know if today is the day.
Right.
So let's move over to captain here. Denny Green. This is our crown their ass segment.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
So, Ellie, you're going with Fred VanVleet. Tell me about it.
Yeah, man. I just like the upside that FVV has. Like, I understand that he's very much scoring dependent, but I mean, that's kind of what you want, right? I mean, he's going to pick up assists. He's going to get a couple rebounds, but he could go 7 to 17 from the 3-point line alone, right? So, fuck it. I like him. I think you're going to be able to jam in a lot of pieces by playing him at captain.
Well, like you said here, let's look at this here. You got Fred VanVleet. He's given us one of the top ceilings, but also we're able to get a couple more minutes out of him than we would with Zion. And look, if you get an extra 2 or 3 minutes in your lineup, that can result in, the difference between you cashing or not cashing. So that's something to just keep an eye on. The ceiling lineup with him is high. I like it. So for me, Brandon Ingram, I just like him in this game in general. He's been the number one option. I think he's a potential superstar in the league now that he has he's landed at a spot with a pretty good team, pretty good overall cast. The rest of his lineup here is pretty good. He's not playing in LA anymore. I personally like Ingram. With these numbers, he has one of the highest projected points. And I know his ceiling isn't up there, but look, these are all based off of median projections, so you have to kind of take this with a grain of salt. But without ownership, this is maybe the easiest way to actually judge where some of these captain options come in. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So what's next? You want to move over to a lineup, Bill?
Yeah. While you're doing that, I guess that's me. But yeah, Chaz, dude, I got a little bit of FEV in tonight. It's a weird thing. I do want to call this out. I've been noticing. So obviously, I had the cash build that I was working on here. Yeah. When I look over at the GPPs, right, people are getting better at pivoting off of the cash players in GPP. So I think it's definitely worth or a viable GPP strategy to pay attention to those people that you think people are going to start fading just because they appear as chalk. I don't know, man. They're coming in a lot lower owned than I'm expecting some of these chalky players to. So I don't know. It's worth keeping an eye on.
All right, guys, hit us up with some likes here. We're at, what are we on YouTube? We're at 7 likes. Throw us a couple extra likes. Our goal is to hit 20 on this stream. We appreciate it. Ellie, let's start building the lineup. I'm going to switch over to your add to stream here. All right.
Cool.
So, Ellie, I'll be right back. Take over, narrate for us. Let's do, what do you want to do? Like FVV, Captain?
Yeah, let's start with Fred VanVleet.
Right. I'll be right back.
At the very least, I can feel the silence here. So bear with me, guys. I don't have multiple screens, so I'm following along with the chat on my phone. So bear with me. If you guys see any cool ownership come out for main slate as you look to see your exposures, comment in the chat and let me know. All right, so FEV. If we're building with him, I still want Lowry. I want Brandon Ingram. What does that leave us with? 5,800. Where are we at now? I don't mind. Let's go Chris Boucher and see what happens. Who do you guys like for value? You guys interested in Josh Hart at all? Honestly, I'm more of the mind to fade that side of the bench. I'd rather play Norman Powell than get to some of these other guys. The only thing that's worth noting here is Josh Hart is projected for 16 or 26 minutes, so he does have a bit edge on Norman Powell, but I don't mind Norman Powell.
Sorry, I had to get another drink. That's kind of important for me.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah, bro. Let's see, 8K. Yeah, I don't hate this build. I think we might need to work it out a little bit better so we can get more. I don't know.
6.3. That's with FVV at captain. Okay.
Yeah, and what did you have as the ceiling lineup?
Well, it's different because you're using RotoGrinders projections as opposed to Osmos projections. That's what I was using. So it's a little bit hard. It's apples to oranges almost.
Let's see. if you don't like Lowry, I mean, you could still get up to Kenny. It's just a little expensive for Siakam, but you can come down off of Boucher in this particular one. I do like Aaron Baines a little bit here just because
we've seen his ceiling. We've seen if he's hot, the dude can shoot threes. I don't know if they're utilizing him like the Suns did in the past like that, but we know he's got a ceiling. We know the dude, at minimum price can hit you fucking 10 or 20x like he did last year.
I mean, this is kind of interesting.
So, what do you got, a 4-2 there? So, what are your thoughts on the team ownership wise? Like, do you think more ownership's going to Toronto or Pelicans? And chat, hit us up if you have an opinion on this.
I think it's going to be 3-3, man, just because the line is so close.
It's going to be pretty even, I think. I think overwhelmingly the captains are going to go to – damn, dude. Holy shit. Attaboy. I think overwhelmingly the captain ownership will go to New Orleans, which I think will sway things farther to them. But, yeah, I think 3-3 or 4-2 New Orleans here might be the way to go.
Well, let's see. Okay, I think we're good there.
Do you want to look at – okay, so let's look at FVV. Let's look at his we're going to open – so we're going to build a lineup, hand build a lineup. Then I want to look at – in Fantasy Cruncher, I want to look at some of the best lineups that we've crunched out for that particular captain. So let me pull this up here. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So for FVV, let me actually try to zoom in here so you guys can see. How about that? Can you see that, Ellie, on your end? Oh, Jesus.
Let me do that. Was one too many. Yeah, go back. There you go.
All right. So let's look at the highest ceiling projection here with Fred VanVleet.
Oh, never mind. Hey, I was going to ask you to do something, but it doesn't matter because we're not.
All right. So highest ceiling here is a 3-3. You got VanVleet at captain, Powell, Bobby Boucher, and Lonzo Ball, Zion, and Ingram. That's a pretty nice build.
Yeah. Can you just wait a second?
Yeah, that's actually a really
real quick.
Nice build. Yeah.
And that's the highest projected?
That's the highest ceiling.
Oh, got it.
So let's go to highest projected and see the difference. So 208.57. So you're talking about less than 3 points. This is the highest projected lineup with VanVleet, which actually is pretty nice too. Although JJ Redick, this to me is a large field tournament as opposed to I'm going single entry. So I actually like the previous lineup decent amount actually. So this is the highest projected at 211.06. We can't really compare it to your lineup that you built because whole different set of projections. But I like the ceiling here, the ceiling projection with Powell and Boucher. Now, are you comfortable with having Powell and Boucher in the same lineup?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Look, it's risky, but I like the twos on Toronto better than I like the fucking backups for whoever they're called, the goddamn Pelicans. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Look, if I want to get these three guys, I mean, look, this is a great lineup because you have all of the usage on the New Orleans side, and you have most of the usage on the Toronto side from the ones and the twos, and then Chris Boucher, who's their highest fantasy point per minute guy.
All right, so Ellie, switch back to your side. Let's build with what do you want to? You want to build with Zion real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'm going to switch to you. Build with Zion, and then we'll look at the top projected on Fantasy Cruncher.
All right, so I mean, I'm not fading Brandon Ingram in any capacity. I don't give a shit if Zion's captain or not. So you cool captain or you cool Ingram too?
I love doing this.
Okay. I still want FVV. Let's see. What you want to go, Bobby Boucher or Aaron Baines?
Let's do one with each.
Okay, let's start with Baines then. And do we want another value guy? Do we have anybody?
Let's see. I mean, like I said, I think Redick is the lowest we want to go, in my opinion. I mean, we could do a Nickeil Alexander-Walker lineup, but I'd rather hold off on that, maybe.
Well, who would you rather, Redick or Hart?
Hart. I think Josh Hart, in my opinion, is the safer play. So if this is a single entry, I'm going Hart. If it's a large field, I think you got to go Redick or Nickeil Alexander-Walker because of the ownership.
I mean, I don't hate this, dude. Zion, Ingram, FVV, Baines, Hart, Anunoby.
Yeah, I love it. Who can you get instead of Anunoby? Just curious. You have enough salary to get up to somebody else?
7,200. So you got Bledsoe or Steven Adams. Well, I can't get Steven Adams.
So if you had to choose, would you like Anunoby or Bledsoe more? Considering that you don't have I'm sorry, say that again? Anunoby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. So look, even when he doesn't get his usage, he's got steal upside stocks, right? So he's going to play defense and then hit perimeter threes. So he is going to get something. Eric Bledsoe is just too inconsistent for me, man. But now that means you need to play him.
We're fucking Suns fans, so we have a little bit of a grudge against him. Fuck him.
I guess I don't want Boucher and Baines in the same lineup, right?
So switch when you're done building this. Switch Baines out and put, what did we say, Boucher instead of Baines?
Yeah, let's do Boucher.
It's a nice little pivot. I mean, they're both projected for around the same amount of points, although Bobby Boucher is not starting, at least as of now. Let me actually confirm. Let me see if we have an update. I mean, it's 18 minutes before lock. I don't know why these teams have such a problem getting the fucking lineups out. Okay, so we're good. So everything is the way it's supposed to be. Aaron Baines starting. OG Anunoby starting. Yeah. Yep, cool. No news.
So you can go Norman Powell, you can go JJ Redick, and you can still go Aaron Baines even.
So chat, hit us up. Let us know who you want to see us build with. If there's a lower owned guy, a dart throw captain that you want to see us build with, or if you want to see us build around somebody in the flex, let us know. Okay, so do you want to move over to Zion and Fantasy Cruncher and see what we got here?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right. So let's look at this. So the top projected is this lineup here. And of course it's got fucking Stanley Johnson in it, which I'm not touching. So I'm going to consider that a wash. You got Stanley Johnson. So as you can see, they're the optimizer is trying to jam in the one of the lowest priced guys we possibly can get. And I'm not touching this. No way. So this is the next, wait a second. 211. It's by my projected. Why did that change? That's strange. This one's at 212. This is a good lineup. This is a really good lineup. Zion, Redick. So you see with Zion and captain, you're going to want to go. You're probably going to have to get a $4,000 or less dude. So this is another 3-3. We got Zion and captain, Ingram in the flex. Here, do me a favor, dude. Build this lineup on your end. 16 minutes to lock, guys. FYI, build this lineup in Lineup HQ and tell me what the projected is. I just want to see the rough difference between Awesomos projections and Lineup HQ's projections. But Norman Powell, FVV, and Kyle Lowry, which I know you're multitasking here, but are we comfortable with FVV and Lowry in the same lineup here with Pascal back?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, you can go take two of the three in any capacity, right? Go FVV, Lowry, Siakam, FVV, Siakam. It doesn't matter. All the usage is going to go through two of the three of them.
Yeah, exactly. Did you plug that lineup in? Oh, you
I'm on. Yeah, let's see.
So we're getting 212.17 projection here for this lineup. I want to see what yours is. See the difference. It's nice I love having that both of us build on different platforms because we're able to figure out the consistencies between both. And that kind of, it's just like we're just doing a manual aggregation here.
208.95.
All right. So pretty close.
Yeah.
Couple off. So let's look at the highest ceiling projected. And I'm wondering if it's going to be, we're going to be stuck with, okay, here we go. So this is the highest ceiling here. This is this 348.8 ceiling that we were referring to in that Excel doc. You got Zion, Lonzo, and Ingram which I love. I think that should be your core, in my opinion. And run it back with Powell, Bobby Boucher, and Van Fleet. This is a sick ass lineup, dude. Hang on. We got to enter this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we got to enter this. Are there any more single entries left?
No.
Actually, I think I like this one better than dude, I don't know. That Van Fleet at captain one was pretty nice. All right, I'm going to enter this one instead. Did you enter that Van Fleet at captain one in one of your lineups?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know, man.
All right, hang on. Let me look for some tournaments here. Let me find some here. NBA Showdown 430.
All right. Well, you're doing that. Oh, yeah, Tobias Harris is finally doing something.
Oh, what a concept. All right, so while I'm doing that, build with who else do we want to build with here? Chat, hit us up with if you have any questions about or if you want to see any builds here. So let's build with Lonzo Ball. Let's see this like high upside, low probability tournament flyer here.
Yes, Eric, I'm still hungover. I don't know. I'm just tired, bro. All right. So Lonzo Ball. Yeah, I still want Ingram. I still want Zion. Let's build with Pascal since we haven't. I don't know if we want Siakam with that many guys though, so I think we come off of him here actually.
Tequila and orange juice. Is there a fucking name for that? That's insane.
It's Tequila Sunrise?
Is that what that is? I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds disgusting.
Bro, it's... Oh, wait. I mean, dude, we used to drink vodka and orange juice all the time. It's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know. Vodka goes better with a lot of things over tequila. How?
I mean, I don't... See, this is using up all the salary, 5,800 and... Well, fuck that. That's a 5-1. All right, no.
Well, shit. With the NBA this season, why not? You know.
Yeah, and just to that point, even last night didn't end up with a 5-1 winner. It was a 4-2.
4-2. Yeah, I think that's consistently going to be your safest option. Besides this, obviously the 3-3.
I don't know if you can run 5-1 in NBA, dude. There's too many stats to go around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
4,800. Yeah, I mean, you kind of.
I was building with it. Is it easier or is it harder just because of how much salary is left?
I mean, it's all about the same. We're just ending up with the same shit. Like,
yeah,
Lowry, Fred VanVleet, right? I mean, you substitute that guy in. What does that give us? 6K. I mean, we can come up if we go.
11 minutes to lock, guys. 11 minutes to lock.
FEB over Lowry, you get 203. 203.5 at the for the projection. Let's see, what did Lowry give us? But it gives us Josh Hart over Baines. That's a 4-2. What do you have on FC?
All right, so let's look at FC here. This is the highest projected lineup with him. Let me actually make sure this is correct. Here, let me zoom out a little bit because it was like acting weird. Can you read that still?
Yeah.
Okay. So highest projected is, these two lineups here are very close, but Lonzo, a captain, Powell, Bobby Boucher, Lowry with Zion and Ingram. The other one here is Redick. This is a 4-2, and you run it back with Bobby Boucher and Siakam. So I don't hate it. I just think, the probability of Lonzo Ball being the optimal captain is pretty low, but I think it's a great tournament option for sure. So Ellie, tell me your core here. Tell me some guys, two guys that you're going to have in every single lineup, whether it's in captain or in the flex.
FVV and Brandon Ingram. Does that help anyone? I think I should probably go a little bit further in,
I think FVV, yes, I think he's a good option, but in Showdown specifically, there's a lot of options here for us, and I think FVV is going to be 30-40% owned at most.
Yeah,
So
and
if we're talking about being more than double the field on a guy, I think that's worth mentioning.
yeah, I just think he's in a great spot, man, and that probably means he's gonna go out and fucking lay a goddamn goose egg up. But I think he has a lot of upside tonight, and I'm gonna be pretty heavy on him, man.
So it seems like we gotta choose between. Let's see. So Chaz, need a quick Fanduel line before lock. Small single entry satellite. So chalk is fine. Dude, bust open. Bust it open, Ellie. Let's build a Fanduel lineup here, guys. Sorry, I know we're always talking about Draftkings, simply because that's just what we use. I think that's what a majority of the people are using. Well, let's bust out a Fanduel lineup here. So let's throw. Who do you want to throw in the MVP?
Oh, hold on. We don't gotta do. Let's.
Oh, fuck it. Just
Let's just run Opto real quick because
crunch like 150.
we don't have to do anything on FanDuel.
Josh, what's up, bro? How's it going?
Dude, adjusting the user interfaces on some of these is so fucking annoying.
I know. So top projected.
Yeah,
that's the option there. That's a 3-2.
Yeah, this isn't terrible. Zion.
Hey Justin, yeah, no problem, man. We're gonna try to do some FanDuel here as well. That's a good idea.
Zion, Ingram, FEV, Baines, Anunoby. This one's fine too. 226.
I'd say on DK, the safest, best captain, Zion, and large field, I would say Lonzo at captain. Low probability, high upside. But Zion or FEV are our favorites for smaller-ish fields. Actually, FEV is a good large field tournament captain as well. So what do you got there, Ellie?
Yeah, I was just submitting this one. I like this one right here. Zion Williamson.
Did you do it on FanDuel?
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't even opened FanDuel in fucking decades. Let me just see if I'm still logged in.
Aaron Baines and OG Anunoby. Like, I think that's going to be a pretty chalky lineup. So that's great for fucking satellites and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, why do I have...
You might have free money, dude. They were giving you free money.
All right, so Ellie, check out. So while I'm entering this, let me actually take a photo of the screen before you scroll away. Try to mess with some more captain options for FanDuel. We've got 6 minutes to lock, guys. 6 minutes to lock.
All right, so MVP we have 19% of the projections are going to Brandon Ingram, so I think we can just lock him in. Fuck it. MVP, lock Brandon Ingram. Let's see what it gives us.
Yeah, there's nothing left here. Satellite, PGA, no, fuck that.
Bro, I don't even know what satellite I answered. It's just a fucking satellite. Tennessee 10 Super. Oh, god damn it. That's tennis. I was hoping it was Tennessee.
Tennis. Dude, I hope you don't win. You're going to be fucked if you win. Zion.
All right, here we go. Ingram, Zion, FEV, Baines, and Anunoby. I actually like that kind. It's the same fucking lineup.
Baines.
All right, guys, I'm not trying to give you a seizure here. All right. Ingram, Zion, FEV, Baines, and Anunoby. That's not terrible. This one's a 4-1. I don't know much about FanDuel anymore, but I don't recommend doing that. There's
All
no.
right, so Josh, here, let me show you my favorite lineup here, actually, for DK. Let me share this side here. So this Zion lineup here. Where is it? Oops. Stand by. So this one right here. Oh, actually, wait a second. Which one did I? No, I did this one. So Zion, Lonzo, and Ingram with Norman Powell, Bobby Boucher, and Fred VanVleet. The highest ceiling Zion captain lineup is... Oh, shit, it's this one. Yeah, this is the highest ceiling one right here. Which I entered this one into a single entry.
Yeah, I put that one into a 20.
But I think this is actually a pretty good just large field as well. Like, yeah. I putting Powell and Bobby Boucher in the same lineup is probably an interesting roster construction choice. All right, guys, so 4 minutes left. Hit us up with any last-minute requests here. We're going to take you past lock. We're going to look at ownership. So, Ellie, before we get to lock here, if you have a second, what's your guess on Zion's... Actually, by the way, are you in any large field tournaments for the showdown?
Yeah, it was the only thing I could find. I put 4 entries into a 20 max. Okay.
So what's your estimate on Zion's captain ownership?
He should be close to 25%.
I'm going to say 20. I'm going to say 31.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about Ingram's? Like 21, 20?
Yeah, I think about 20, 18 to 20%.
I'm going to say Lonzo is going to be like 4% in the captain. You think that's accurate?
I'm going to go with 15, bro. I think he's going to be 15%.
You think so?
Captain,
yeah, you could be right. This is why it's hard, man. Like, without ownership projections, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, and hey, guys, we are kind of guessing at this. So if you start seeing any ownership trends based on pricing, like as we play, let us know. No one's really building ownerships for this specifically, which makes sense because, I mean, everyone's doing main slate. And NBA is crazy, dude. You have to adjust to everything so goddamn quickly.
Yeah, exactly. We do have. Did somebody? No, there's no ownership still. I don't think any of these sites are going to do ownership for this particular one. And if they are, they have fucking 1 minute to do it. 2 minutes to lock, guys. 2 minutes to lock.
Bro, I thought today was... Hey, so I ended up winning some money on the showdown from Houston. I went positive. Let's just...
you did that one?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, once James Harden was out, like you could literally just jammed everybody in because you freed up all your salary. So I don't know.
So YouTube viewers, hit us up with a few more likes. We'd appreciate it. And also comment what you guys want to see. This is, I don't see too many besides like NBA finals and like playoffs and like island Christmas games for Showdown NBA. I just don't see a lot of shows covering NBA Showdown. We've sort of gotten down our NFL Showdown stuff. I feel like we're doing pretty good with that. We got that down. And by the way, if you guys are interested, tomorrow we're going to go live, I think 5 p.m. Pacific-ish. So subscribe, check us out. We're going live for Sunday Night Football. We're going to do our full breakdown. We're going to go a little bit early. Just so you got, so we typically...
5 Eastern then?
What did I say?
Pacific.
Oh, fuck. No, fuck that. We're not doing that. 5 Eastern. Sorry. It's so weird that you live 3 hours away from me. It's just weird because we always go in the same time zone. Anyways, if you guys are interested in checking out Sunday Night Football, join us for that. We are locked 4:30 here. Alex, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. And yes, let's all win some money here. Hit us up with any ideas you guys have about our future shows. If there's anything we're missing, I think we'll cover a little bit more Fanduel as well. So if you're playing on Fanduel, don't be scared away. We're gonna try to get to that as well. So Ellie, you pulling up ownership here?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I agree with you, Chaz. Granted, I'm used to, I'm also one of those people who chases from time to time. That's why I'm not drinking as much.
Still drinking, that's the key.
I tilt bet when I drink.
And you're in a legal betting area too.
Yeah.
That's scary as fuck. All right, so interesting. Wow, Ingram is getting a lot more ownership. So, well, actually, let me see here. Oh, my single entry. What's your highest?
So FEV is 56% and 13% captain. Ingram 78%, 21% captain. Lowry's 60% but 10% captain.
Oh, interesting. What about Zion?
Lonzo 37 and 7% captain.
Hey, you're right.
Let's see. I don't have Lonzo or
no Zion.
No Zion in this lineup. Hold on.
Just look for
Boucher 30%. Redick is only 15%. All right, let's see.
Interesting.
Zion 65% and 20% captain.
Wow, Zion is like 13% lower owned than Ingram, huh? I'm curious about that. That's interesting. Tobias Harris going off in the first quarter. Wow.
Dude, they're playing fucking Charlotte, man. Like,
let us know, guys. Let us know with any of your tournaments. Are you guys in any of the largest field tournaments in DraftKings? I didn't enter any of those this particular slate. Let us know what the ownership's looking like on that side, on the bigger tournaments. FanDuel. Let me open up FanDuel.
Right. Fuck it. I forgot that we did FanDuel. We literally just did this shit too. All right.
Oh shit.
22% MB. Oh man, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, this is so weird. FanDuel's interesting. So Zion is 27% in the MVP. I'm in a satellite. I don't even know if this is even valid for me to mention. He's 77% overall. He's mostly owned in the star. Ingram is 22% for both MVP and star. He's getting way less ownership than Zion on FanDuel. FEV is 56% overall, mostly in pro. Aaron Baines 43% and Bobby Boucher 13%. Interesting.
Bro, these guys are running like Alex Len and the 3 lineups have Alexander Walker, one has Alex Len.
I'm curious to see how Walker. Yeah, I didn't get to any Alex Len. I didn't get to any. Obviously, FanDuel, he's priced well enough to consider playing him, but on DraftKings, I wasn't getting into any of him. All right, Ellie. So we're 3 minutes past lock. Give us your best guess on this total here, like a final score prediction.
I don't know, like 102 to 89, Toronto.
It's different when we're talking about football.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to send it off here. We'll see you tomorrow night / afternoon, depending on where you're at in the country, for Sunday Night Football. What is that game? Is that the Eagles and what is that game?
It's
a playoff game or a potential playoff.
Washington football team.
Washington football team. Alex Smith. That's right. I made up the graphic already for it. All right. So join us for that game tomorrow at 2 or 2:30 Pacific. We'll put it on our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Throw us a like as you're exiting. We really appreciate it. Let's get some of these final comments here. Yep. Washington football team, Alex Smith versus the Eagles. This is going to be an interesting matchup, actually, for sure. I'm really looking forward to that. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate you. We will see you next time.